Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to a brand new league racing video. This is WOR round number 4? Round number 4. Around Kota, Texas. And the last week out we drove on a different American track. We drove around Las Vegas, but this time it's Texas, round number 4. We're currently P3 in the championship. I couldn't find the graphic for the championship standings, but we are P3 behind Joseph Logue and Ismail Fassi. Ismail Fassi leading the championship, and by quite a margin as well, because he won in Vegas and we only finished like P8 with our penalty that I forgot to get removed. Today we are racing around one of my favorite tracks, and as you can see, rain in Q2. Now we didn't set a lap in Q1 because the bottom 5 were doing a last to first challenge and got themselves disqualified, but here at the start of Q2 you can see rainfall already, and that means we're gonna have to get to the line as fast as possible to start our lap. So this is a race to the line for everyone to try and get a lap in. You can see I'm not even weaving to get my tires warmed up, I just want to get my lap started here. And I think we're around P8 in line, so yeah, the track is only gonna get slower and slower the further you're down the grid. And luckily we're not last, but I still want to get on with it here. And you can see we are literally battling Xander for who is starting his lap first. No gentleman agreement here, because if we stick to that, we're gonna go out in Q2. So trying to find my way past André Tarabukin and Xander van Dijk, and we're waiting patiently for the guys ahead, but I want to get on with it. And as you can see there, we are really close behind Philip Racinator starting our lap, but every second counts when it is raining, and we have managed to overtake 2 people into the final corner. So here we go then. We're only gonna get one opportunity on this, and if we invalidate or make a big mistake, we probably will be out of Q2. So top 10 advances to Q3, and on a track where it's so easy to invalidate, you have to be careful, because see, there's already no grip anymore as we go into Sector 2. And we are gaining slightly to Philip Racinator, I feel like. Even though it is hard to see when you're on a qualifying lap, because the margins are so small. But you can see there, we are gaining visually to Philip Racinator. And that's a good sign, because we are now, I think, 7th in line of all the cars out on track. And that means if we just set a lap in order, as the track is only going to get slower, we will be P7. But it looks like we are going to go faster than Philip here on this lap at least. So that should put us to around P6. As
I want to overtake Philip. Just keep it on track, please.
Yeah, as you can hear me say, we got so close to Philip that I just wanted to say over my stream that I wasn't gonna overtake him. Some drivers watch my stream live while they're driving, or they got it next to them. I think Dylan Warren does this sometimes in the Ironman League, but who was actually chatting to me while it was a safety car. But across the line we go, and as you can see there, we have moved up to P5. So good run there for us, and yeah, easily through into Q3 with this rainfall not stopping until the end of the session. You can see there actually P11 André Tarabukin on intermediate, so it was quite close in the end, and the intermediates, but not quite fast enough to make it in the top 10. And onto Q3 we're gonna go in a second. We've got Fabrizio Donoso actually out in Q2, F1 Esports driver, of course, for Aston Martin. Now, the reason why you don't often see F1 Esports drivers being as fast as usual in this league is because most F1 Esports drivers, or I think every single F1 Esports driver, is using 120 FPS in league racing, because that's what we have to use by regulations in F1 Esports. And the fact is, it is just around like 2/10 slower than 60 FPS, which is what most F2 drivers use, or PSGL F2 drivers use, or just drivers who are just about not in F1 Esports. So this is why you very often see F1 Esports drivers not even qualifying, because they know they're gonna be too far down, or it just feels different anyway. So we've gone out for qualifying anyway, because I want to win this WOR championship, and Ismail Fassi is getting a little bit too far away from us. So we're gonna have to start performing a bit better. Into our final Q3 lap then. First lap was dry, but still very low grip conditions. So let's see what we can do in this final Q3 lap. Grip didn't feel great into turn 1, but it's probably going to ramp up a lot during this lap. And you can see we're already 2 seconds up compared to our banker, even though our banker lap was dry as well. As we're going to head down the back straight. DRS open. We're currently in P2, but if we don't improve, we will most likely drop down all the way back to P10 with the track improving so much. Into the final sector we're going to go. We're going a little bit deep there, and that has definitely cost us some time. A 101.558 split, and that's not a great split, but it all depends on what the rest of the grid does as well. If the grip is not quite there yet, then that is a decent split, as Philip Preitschneider does a 31.472. We go into the final 2 corners now, as we have a lot of marbles on our tires as we head into the second last corner. Linton puts a 31.3. Duncan Hofland goes to provisional pole with a 31.089. We only do a 31.2, as our teammate Danny Bresnay does a 30.9. Now there were some quite big mistakes in there on my lap, so yeah, poor lap from me there. Only P6, and Ismail Fassi, our championship rival, only P10, as he did not improve on his lap, and only had his banker lap. So yeah, as I said halfway into my lap as well, if you don't improve on your banker lap, you're gonna drop all the way down to a P10, because the first lap was so much slower. But yeah, P6 good enough to fight for the win for sure. We're gonna go on to the race really fast now though. Lights out and away we go. We're in the hard compounds of tires, some people on the softs, and I think no one on the WOR grid is actually on the mediums, as we dive down the inside of Alvaro. Not really an attacking maneuver, but more to fend off anyone that was trying to overtake me. So up to P5 we actually go. As we have managed to gain that position from the Haas behind us. Xander didn't get off the line well, or didn't have a great turn 1, I'm not sure, but up to P5 we go, and right behind Alvaro Carreton. So we got, I think, Dylan Warren in the Alfa Romeo on the softs. Yeah, you can see there in P2 on the softs. You got Shanika Clay right behind us on the softs as well, and we're gonna have no chance of defending this in the next few laps, because the softs are just so much faster in the opening few laps compared to the hard. So we're not even really gonna try to defend this. We don't want to give the position away for free, but I don't want to lose any time or resources to fend Shanaka off in the opening 2, 3, 4 laps, because it will easily be a second per lap faster at least. So we're just gonna give up the position if he does send it into the next few corners. You can see there Dylan Warren on the softs has pulled away actually from our teammate Danny Bresnay already as well, as he will just pull off into the distance in the coming few laps. As Shanika Clay, you can see right behind us, gonna send it down the inside, and we're just gonna wave him through, not defend, and play it safe. As we got another Haas in P8 on the softs, Ben Sabo Konyi. Races in the Ironman League as well, of course. F1 Esports driver for Haas, F1 Esports. And on to lap 8 we go now then. We managed to hold on to P6 and stay ahead of Ben Sabo. And now we're going to go back on the attack on Shanika Clay. Up to P5 we go again, as the softs are starting to drop off. Now you can see Dylan Warren in P1 starting to drop off slightly as well, as yeah, those softs are just not working really well anymore. You can see he's dropped down to P3 now already, as first people started to box. Actually, first person only starts to box. Ben Sabo going from softs to mediums or hards. Both are possible, of course. I think he'll be going on to the mediums, as that should be the faster strategy. So Alvaro Carreton up the inside of Dylan Warren up to P3. and we're gonna try and have a go at Dylan in the middle sector somewhere on that long back straight probably as well. You can see we've got a full battery to use, so we might as well use it to get past Dylan in the next lap. I think this is an in lap actually for him. Might have some people go end of lap 12, but that's definitely the last lap they can box. So we've got Otis, Shanaka behind us both on the softs. I think both of them will box at the end of this one, and now we're going to be using our battery to get past Dylan and not get held up in that final sector, because you can see Alvaro overtook Dylan into turn 1 and already got a 7-10 gap to him after just a few corners. So we cannot afford to get stuck behind Dylan in this final sector when he will be boxing probably at the end of this one. But if he won't box, then we would lose even more time. So crucial we got past there for P4. We're actually into the net P4 now, so decent opening stint. Going from P6 to P4, considering we started on the hards. Maybe on the softs we would have gained even more, but of course then you've got older or worse tires in the end, so it's a bit of a trade-off. Not to mention, I always hope for a cheeky little safety car halfway into the race when you're on the hards, because that means you have such a big advantage from that safety car. Vice versa, if there's a safety car in the opening few laps, then the soft runners have an advantage. So it depends how you look at it, of course. End of lap 15 now. We're going to be boxing for a new set of mediums at the end of this lap, as our teammate Danny Bresnay and Duncan Hovland stay out for another lap. We are boxing on to the set of medium behind Alvaro Carreton, so it will be interesting to see where we will filter out in the pit exit. Purple pit stop, of course. Very easy to get a purple pit stop these days. I don't remember getting a red one ever. Actually, I think I did get a red one earlier this year on this game. I think I thought I pressed the button, or maybe I did press the button but it just didn't work. So very frustrating if you get a red pit stop, because you just lose half a second out of thin air. And yeah, that can be crucial in these kind of races. So we've come out in P15 now, behind Alvaro Carreton. A lot of people will have gone early and gone for the undercut. We've gone on the undercut on Duncan Hovland and our teammate Danny Bresnay. Not our in-game teammate, but Danny is sitting next to us while we're doing these races. We are Mercedes F1 Esports teammates. So as you can hear him say, can you overtake Alvaro? Which I will be trying to do, but we have to get close first in order to do so. And we got Jake Benham, our other teammate, who started from the back, boxed early, got the undercut, but is on bad or a lot worse tires now. So we get past him, and yeah, he's not putting up too much of a fight, because we're teammates. He would ruin our race a little bit if he would do that. So 3 of us go through into P7, 8 and 9. And now we need to find a way past Alvaro Carreton in the next lap. We maybe could have a goal into turn 1, but
3.2 for me.
So yeah, I felt like the best opportunity to overtake Alvaro was on the long back straight. If I overtook him into turn 1,
I will do back straight.
I felt like he was gonna get back at me again. But of course, if he gets into the DRS of Nicolas Longway ahead, then it's gonna be really hard to overtake him. So we have to plan this right and get it spot on. And it looks like we did, because Alvaro is not gonna get DRS yet on this lap from Nicolas, and that means we will be able to get past him in the back straight and maybe go for a double overtake. You know, would be perfect if our teammate Danny Bresnay gets through as well, and we can both get past him, because if a car ahead of you has DRS as well and is on similar age tires, it's really hard to overtake. So we're gonna try and go for a double overtake here, trying to get the power down early. Not a great exit, but the DRS is gonna be strong enough.
I think Alvaro's not pushing, so go for it.
To get past anyway, and as you can see there, Danny is gonna go through as well. He's on 1 lap fresher tire, so we're gonna let him go through. Looking back at it, maybe not the smartest thing, considering this was a one-off race for Danny and we are driving for the championship, but we move on. Danny gets into P7, we stay in P8 basically, but Danny's gonna fight his way through the pack in the coming few laps. Into lap 20 we go then. You can see we have catched up to the lead group now, and Danny is gonna go on the attack. We got Nicolas Longe and Ben Sabo Cogny going side by side there. We're just gonna sit back a little bit and watch this unfold. I thought for a brief moment they were gonna make it 3 wide into the next left-hander, but they did not, and that was unfortunate because I was hoping for a little 2022 F1 Esports quota kind of scenario, but that did not happen. We're gonna go down the inside of Ben Sabo here. Unfortunately, there was just not quite enough space. I
Oh my god!
went a little bit too deep, and
Sake.
yeah, that cost us a lot of time, and now we have to re-overtake Benz again because of the mistake I made there. Luckily,
So hard.
we only put ourselves at a disadvantage there, and nothing happened to Nicolas. I'm not sure if he even noticed that we hit there, but up to P7 we go again into turn 1, and now we got Fabrizio Donoso, Nicolas Longe, both on much older tires compared to us, so it shouldn't be too hard to get past them here, but we have to make quick work of it, otherwise we will lose touch of our teammate Danny Bresnay, who's already up to P3 on those fresher tires. So we have to make quick work of this. As you can see, Fabrizio Donoso struggling a little bit there on the exit, and that gives Nicolas Longe the opportunity to go for it perhaps. Fabrizio has to go defensive, and it gives us the chance to get an easier overtake on the next straight here. We're going to turn on the overtake button and get a cheeky little slipstream down this long back straight, and this is going to be a relatively easy pass up to P6. Fabrizio Donoso up next on much older mediums, I think even older mediums than Nicolas Longe and Shanika Clay. So in front in P3 you can see Danny Bresnay going for a move on Dylan Warren. I was having a little look down the inside of Fabrizio, but was thinking better of it. A little bit too far back there, as our tires are starting to fade away as well. We don't have that much grip advantage anymore, and we're gonna have to find another way past. There's still 7 laps to go though, and more than enough time to get back up to the front. But if we get stuck 2-3 laps in a row behind Fabrizio, then that is going to cost us a lot of time. So once again we're going to turn on the overtake button into turn 1, down the inside, and brake slightly late. There's a little bit of a lockup, and with a little wheel bang there, nothing major. Fabrizio did not lose any extra positions luckily because of that, but a little micro lockup caused us to have a little rubbing with the tires moment. Luckily both of us can easily continue without too much time loss, and now we got Shanika Clay up next on I think 4 lap older mediums than us, so once again shouldn't be too hard to get past him here, but our mediums are starting to show some signs of wear as well. So turned on the overtake button briefly there. Once I noticed that Shanika wasn't going defensive, I decided to go for the move, send it down the inside, and up to P4 we go. Dylan Warren up next, and then Otis Lawrence, and then in P1 is our teammate Danny Bresnay. Now Dylan Warren, I think boxed end of lap 11, and that means he has 4 lap older tires than us, but the way it works on this game is that your new tires start to fade away at some point, and you can see Danny, our teammate, is not really pulling a big gap as well, and that's just because the difference starts to fade away over time. So that's why I have to make these moves fast. Having a little look down the inside, turns to the outside for turn 1, but unfortunately we got the marbles on our outside tire. And for anyone who plays the game knows that if you get marbles on your tires, you lose a solid 3/10 just in that corner. So yeah, not ideal. But into the last lap we're gonna go then. We haven't really managed to go for a move on Dylan in the past few laps, so we're gonna have to do it in the last lap. Turn on the overtake button, but I saw we were not gonna get close enough into turn 1 to go for a move, so I decided to think better of it and save our battery for that long back straight. We've got Otis hunting down our teammate Danny Bresnay as well. They seem like they're gonna be a little bit too far away for us, so we're just focusing on a podium finish at the moment and get those 15 points back home. We got Ismail Fassi in P6 at the moment, so we're gonna be gaining points to him, but it's not being the race I wanted. Made a few mistakes with overtaking Nicolas and Fabricio, which cost us some time, and I think that cost us a chance for the race win here. Now we're gonna turn on the overtake button and go in the attack on Dylan Warren on the long back straight, and you can see we still got 30% battery remaining, and Dylan has already started flashing, which means we got more battery, more momentum into the next left-hander. We're gonna brake later, go side by side to the next left-hander. He leaves us just enough space, and that turns into the inside for the next one, which will turn to the outside for the next one again. So we're gonna have to cover off the inside here, which we managed to do after having slightly more traction of that right-hander, and up to P3 we go, and it looks like Duncan and Dylan are gonna go side by side through here, which gives us the breathing room to cruise this home into P3, and that's gonna turn into P2 as our teammate Danny Bresnay got a penalty for the pit lane entry. So up to P2 we go, and I think Ismail Fassi moved up to P5, so good 8-point gain in this race. And as you can see there, Ismail Fassi P6 moves up to P5 with Danny's 5-second penalty. Yeah, to be honest, wasn't too smart that we played the team game in the reverse way, considering this was only a one-off race for Danny, of course. But yeah, it was still a good race nonetheless. A good bit of practice for F1 Esports event that did not happen. Yeah, we are now 18 points behind Ismail Fassi in the championship. Still many races to go, so we're gonna be on it from now on and take it a bit more serious. No more last to first challenges in WOR. I want to try and win another title, so we're gonna go for that. Hope you guys enjoyed this Kota League race on 120 FPS. Makes it even more of a challenge than usual. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe, and see you guys next time. Ciao.